today we are going about this interesting topic of leads.
There's a lot of qualification beyond that from a sales side. Do we have the capacity?
We basically call them MELs, which is marketing engaged leads.
Why a person take a decision in B2B in the end is related to fear.
There's no feedback loops where we are revisiting what a good lead is.
I have seen a lot of focus in moving away from leads towards opportunities.
And we are using AI exactly to sanitize some fields.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the B2B Marketing Leaders podcast. And today we are going about this interesting topic of leads, the leads definition, and some interesting other insights around this term and the metric. Let's start with the introduction. Please start with Ralph. Please introduce yourself. Tell us more about you.
Yes, of course. So thank you. First of all, thank you the opportunity to be here. These are amazing opportunities to us to connect and talking more about this STEM, right? So my name is Ralph Tosati. I'm from Brazil. I'm based today in Dallas, here in Texas, and I work at Thomson Reuters. I'm completing around 12 years in Thomson Reuters. In the last around 9 years I spent in Latin America. I was leader for marketing to the entire Latin America with teams based in Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Uruguay, and other countries. So today here in Thomson Reuters US, I'm responsible for marketing sites and apply AI solutions. So AI solutions basically is applying the AI to the business needs. So I work with a very large team, and my scope today is global, giving support, but primarily for United States, UK, Canada, but we support regions as well. So again, I have around 20 years in marketing, over a couple of years in sales. My background academic was in accounting, finance, marketing as well, with master in marketing. And it's a mix about of different areas, and I hope to support the discussion here related to the lead themes. Okay.
Thank you. Sounds exciting. So yeah, especially AI, AI solutions now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raul, please continue.
Hard to follow Ralph's description, but first of all, thank you so much to the team. Olga, thank you so much for the opportunity. Really excited. My name is Rahul. I work as a strategic marketing manager at a company called Trystar. We're a manufacturing business based out of Minnesota, and essentially anything downstream of a generator is what we manufacture. So, power cables, transformers, docking stations, all that sort of stuff. And so essentially, Ralph, everything that AI uses is what we power, data centers being one of the biggest things. So that's exciting for us. I've been in marketing for a few years, 5, coming up on, I think, 6 years next year. Been at Trystar for 3, where I've led market intelligence, digital marketing, a lot of AI, obviously, but in a different scope, of course. But essentially, it's kind of a intersection of product marketing, sales, CX, different kind of function, obviously B2B. So excited about the topic. I do have one question for Ralph. Ralph, Pele or Maradona?
I think this is easy to answer, right? We know Pelé is the biggest in the world.
I thought you were
the
going to say
king.
Messi, but
So
okay. I thought you were going to say Messi.
all respect to my friends in Argentina, but no question related to that, my friend. Appreciate.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you, Rahul. Hiten, please.
I'm sure. So I'm Hiten. I am part of Palo Alto Networks. I lead AI cybersecurity marketing for Palo Alto. I actually joined about 6 months back. Prior to this, I was leading PMM activities at AWS for agentic AI. And before that, I've spent almost a decade doing product marketing at VMware, Cisco, and other places. I'm also a published researcher. I have published a lot of white papers. I've been part of a couple of books on digital transformation, where I've written and researched topics like how cloud and AI are going to change the way business is done. One of the things I'm very proud of is a book called Digital Vortex, where I was a lead researcher and Ghost wrote some content in the book as well, and the book did really well. I have been always fascinated by one thing from the very start of my career, which is how technology impacts the way business is done, and that's guided my all my transitions and my career moves and everything. So here we are today talking about B2B leads, MQLs, MALs, and what AI is going to do to them. So I think it's perfect topic.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Your experience is impressive, and congratulations on the recent changes on the new role. Yeah, it's
Thanks. Yeah.
amazing as well. Yeah, so let's jump to the first question. The leads term. Why do you think in B2B we still struggle to align on what leads actually is? Because there are many different definitions, everybody, even inside one company, right? So, what do you think about it?
Do you want me to go first? I can go first.
Of course, yeah.
Um,
Please.
I think the reason why we think about it is because it's comfortable. It's
Yeah.
it's it's already been there in the industry. It's been a standard, and we as marketers haven't really, because we were so busy producing leads, we haven't really sat back and realized and thought through, like, what is it? What else do we need to do now? Like how the
Yeah,
world is changing, needs hasn't changed. So marketing needs some sort of an evidence of activity, and leads provides that. Sales is looking for money, so they always come back and say these leads don't generate me money. So I think we are in a very catch-22 situation, in my opinion, right now. It's also a little bit of an ego thing. So for marketers, good leads, bad leads, quality of leads, quantity of leads, it's an ego thing. We'll see how
classic
it
conflict.
changes, but I'm curious to hear from Ralph and Rahul.
I
Yeah.
just want to say, Hiten, you've made best friends with all the sales members across the world right now by saying that.
Yeah,
But I 100% agree. The only thing I would add to that is also it's easy to count leads. And I think marketers like to think that we are in complete control of the customer journey. We
yeah,
think, we at least like to think that we can influence the journey completely. And I think counting leads is a way of sort of doing it. Like, yes, what we are doing is working. It's easy to show results, right? Because are easy to count.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I tend to agree, and this come to my mind like years and years ago related to opportunity leads, and we can determine the name of what we want, but in the end we need to deliver something to sales, right?
Yeah.
And if you focus in why we sometimes looking for volume, because the sales targets never decrease. Each year will be higher, higher, and higher. All companies is looking to growth, and this metric of how much you are booking of your business, how much you are growing each year, is one of the key components for the valuation of your company. So if you're starting to do the reverse funnel, in the end, someone needs to create a lead. Someone needs to create opportunity to connect two companies through two persons or many persons, right? Depends if your business is more transactional, if it's more consultative. Maybe the point is not the lead in terms of one person talking with another. Maybe it could be a company, and you need to have different leads around of this account. But in the end, the point I think is the objective is what each company have. I work in a company what is a software company. So of course in B2B SaaS segment, we look a lot for how we are growing in our customer database. And to make that, we need to bring opportunities. We need to bring the lead. We need to bring the conversation between two humans, what represents different companies, to meet together and see how we can create business together. So this is why volume of leads comes to the picture every month, every week, every quarter. And sometimes you can talking about, okay, let's improve the quality and reduce the volume. But after you increase the quality, someone will say, okay, but my targets just rise again. I need the quality and I need the volume.
Yeah.
So this is what I see through years here. I don't know, guys, if you see something close as well.
Similar. The only thing I would add is also it also I think doesn't help that each of the tools that we use has different definitions of what they think a prospect is or a lead is, whether you're a Salesforce user or a HubSpot user or a Pipedrive user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Olga, please.
Yeah, and it leads us to the question: how do you define a lead today? Maybe use some specific system of different types of leads, like MQLs, SQLs, or something else. Please share with us how you do it in your company.
Yeah, recently I can jump first here. Recently, and for coincidence, this year, my area conduct a work called marketing measurement framework.
Mhm,
Exactly because in the previous year we was discussing a lot about the concept, about the nomenclatures and etc. And as we have different business unit and Thomson Reuters don't stop on the acquisition side, we are bringing new companies to our
mhm.
company every
We
year.
need to start
This
speaking the same language. Yeah.
exactly. So
Mhm,
what we did, we worked with in partnership with Gartner and Forrester, exactly to look okay how looks like uh, the definition of all of our funnel, right? So from share of voice to the sale, from the revenue, um, retention, and so on. So part of that is the market qualified leads, sales accept leads, opportunities, opportunities
mhm,
by stays and etc. So we work to try to exactly write the definition of each one and reflect that into our systems. I can tell you this worked very well, but I know tomorrow something will change again because a new company is coming, a new concept is coming, and we need to revise. But to us, basically, we have by stage in our funnel from awareness to renew and advocacy. For each all of that, we have like top three, top. We have hero metrics, what is basically two metrics by stage, but we have a basket of metrics below of that because to sustain these hero metrics, we need to have other metrics to you look daily or weekly or monthly and etc. So we have the majority of the concepts what the standard B2B SaaS companies using like MKLs, SILs, opportunities, and so on. So this is how we are today.
mhm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, who'd like to share next?
Pretty
Um,
similar for us as well. Sorry, Hiten. Just one. I think it's
yeah.
pretty straightforward. Marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, and then opportunity. Um, I think it makes sense for our business. It's a manufacturing business. There's a lot of tech, obviously, but long sales cycles. So fairly standard. So when someone fills out a website form, we kind of treat it as a very late stage down the funnel. If you're reaching out to us to ask if you can deliver a, let's say, a a medium voltage transformer, for example, at that point you've done your research. You're not going to wake up in the morning and think I should buy a transformer today. So pretty high intent. So marketing qualified lead is pretty straightforward. There's a lot of qualification beyond that from a sales side, whether do we have the capacity to do this, how much customization, pricing, margin, all of those other factors. But otherwise we just kind of move through qualified, and once sales thinks that yeah, there's an opportunity here, real revenue, we kind of move it as an opportunity.
Mhm. Thank you. Hitan, how does it work in your company?
So I think one thing that we have done is at the top of the funnel, we have basically become a little bit stricter in terms of how we qualify a lead, what we call a lead. So we
Mhm,
don't have MALs or MQLs. We basically call them MELs, which is marketing engaged leads.
mhm,
We I would also say that in my current role and also in my past role, we've also been very focused on AI buyers and AI as a space. And because of that, and there is so much noise in the space that we've decided we would measure more than one instance of engagement to really bring that lead into the funnel. So it has to be a little bit more qualified interest at the start for us to truly call a persona or a person a lead. We will not just say, okay, this person downloaded an ebook or this person came to our web page and filled a form for something, and that's a lead. we want to have more intent signals before
Mm-hmm.
bring it into the funnel. So that's been the push, and that's something that I'm seeing as a way to go more and more as we move towards buying groups. And I know it's going to be a hot topic when we start talking about that. So
Yeah.
we are.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's interesting. And Ralph, you wanted to add something? Yeah.
No, I will uh, just send a question here to Heating is, so what
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting from you is you are much more focused on the quality
Yeah.
of engagement from the leads. I totally agree. I think this is what we are moving as well here. In true, our main metric is not lead, is not
Mm-hmm.
MQLs, is the pipeline, what we generate, and
Yeah.
especially how much this pipeline navigate through the funnel to convert
Yeah.
into a sale. So our main metric is the volume of the pipeline. And why we believe that? Because if we generate pipeline, and as we have standard the stage in our pipeline, this means this lead was engaged, the person, so the bench, right? Budget, authority, need, and time was mapped and is generate value to our pipeline targets, and this tends to convert in a X%. So, but I think is that right? Is how much value you can generate from these engagements, from these leads to your company. That's right to say, Hiten.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. And my next question is about sometimes, of course, marketing has some conflicts with sales around leads. That marketing thinks that they are high quality, sales thinks that they are low quality. So, could you please share this kind of experience in your company? Do you have these kind of situations? And when, for example, sales rejects leads, and what you do in this kind of situations?
Yeah, I can go first. I would say that I'm going to lean into my overall experience and not a specific company's point of view. Um, I think sales always wants good leads, like I said earlier, but what they care about are real opportunities. So I have seen a lot of focus of late um, in moving away from leads and more towards opportunities. Like, give
Mhm.
me account level view of this opportunity. So this is something also we're starting to experiment with, that how do we, when we see an opportunity coming up from an account where we see multiple engaged leads, how do we start to map out what are these different leads doing? What parts of our business are they touching? What topics are they interested in? So we provide the account teams with a holistic view of the account and the opportunity, and not just here are 500 leads and BDR should follow up on it. That is also part of the process that's happening. But we're also starting to dig a little bit deeper and figure out, can we build opportunity level view on an account to provide to our account managers and salespeople?
Mhm. How do you know if there is an opportunity before a sales call? So it's based on research or something else?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I mean, how do you know that there is an opportunity before a sales call? So, because usually opportunity, maybe you have a different definition, but usually what I've heard, it means that they already have a budget, for example, or a specific
Mm.
need. You can confirm that, for example, they need some several seats of
Yeah.
something or several
So
licenses.
typically,
Yeah.
so typically the nature of the business is such that we have a large set of predefined accounts, and we're very focused on that. And
Mhm.
it's a very brownfield scenario where we are upselling and digging more into our existing accounts. So we already know to a good extent what these accounts are looking for, what
Mhm. Mhm.
use, what sort of opportunity landscape exists. Even if it's a net new account, by knowing how many people are touching our properties, our web properties, and our assets from that account, we get some intent signals that tell us whether there's an opportunity here, for example, for AI, or is it for firewall? Is it for cloud firewall or something else? So that's the ultimately that's the intent, to show um, intent to our sellers that we are seeing based on the activity from the marketing side.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, please let's continue on this topic. So Could you
Yeah,
please
of
share?
course. I
Uh-huh.
can bring some perspectives here.
Mhm.
So conflict is necessary. I see in the way conflict is what making us to improve the performance anyway. The point is how we are managing this conflict, and I think the question is how. It's
Yeah.
respectful.
Mhm.
It's okay because if we don't conflict, if we don't have different points of view, we will never improve the quality, and we have opportunities to any part of the organization. So my experience related to that, especially working, I have working in sales. I was in the other side for a long period of time. Is exactly to have a right definition about what quality means, and we need to understand the source of marketing and sales to understand from the source A, organic search, I don't know, or
Mhm.
direct access. My conversion ratio will be high because the person or the customer is in a different moment in the journey versus generate a demand from a content,
Mhm.
from awareness. So the point is how much close we can be from sales and how much we can partner together to show to them and sometimes I see the conflict in sales and marketing is because marketing don't share so well what happens behind of the scene, and we don't have an integrated um, work plan to
Mhm.
improve what quality means, and I think in the end, if we have that shared, if we have a single funnel between marketing and sales and we have a single metric of performance, both
Mhm.
areas will partner together. This not avoid conflict, but this transform the conflict to a positive action. You know what I mean? So this is a little bit how I see.
Mhm.
Agreed. And
Yeah,
I would
just
just also add, oh, sorry, go, you go first.
yeah, please, Rahul, please go ahead.
Okay, so the only thing I wanted to add was I think people also think of a lead as a static definition, where we've defined that this is the qualification criteria and this is what a good lead is, and then there's no feedback loops where we are revisiting what a good lead is. But the buyer behavior these days is changing so fast, and priorities change so fast. It depends on what sales objectives are, what are your growth objectives. And so unless you're revisiting that definition every, so maybe a month, maybe a quarter, whatever is most relevant for your business, that can make a big difference. So I think what I see within my organization as well is the definition of lead is kind of aligned. Everyone fairly well understands, but
That's
I think
amazing.
quality versus quantity is always that argument.
Yeah, and the idea here, I think, is to stop fighting and start partnering together. Yeah, and doing something together. So let's jump to some other frameworks, some
Mhm.
modern frameworks around, because, for example, Forrester, they say now that so MQL's, SQL's format is outdated and we need something else like buying groups or some other interesting frameworks. And do you think that a traditional lead model like MQLs, SQLs, and opportunities is misleading and we need something else, or it's good enough? So do you use some other frameworks?
I I think the answer is depends because
Hmm.
I'm very close to Forster. My team have seats with Forster, with Gartner, with UI.
Hmm.
I understand their position, especially because if we look in our funnel related to MQLs, SQLs, this is a theory what comes from 28, 2010
It's old
maybe.
enough, yeah.
Okay, but this theory related to buyer groups is really drives to B2B, but more for large business. And depends of your offer, depends of what you are selling, depends of the
Yeah.
complex. We sell softwares, what sometimes takes more than 6 to 8 months in the sales cycle.
Yeah.
But we sell softwares and we sell content like books, what is totally transactional. What in the
Mhm.
same day you buy, you receive, you use, and etc. So I think depends for what you are looking for, but of course, is what we are looking now is something what was created a long time ago. However, what Potter talks about marketing comes from the mid of the century,
Oh
and
yeah.
this will not change. You know what I mean? So my point is not just because it's something for 20 years ago, is something what we will not use. Some theories will still here because we are talking about humans and we are talking
Mhm.
about sentiments. We are talking about wishes, desires. You know, if you go to a neuroscience, for example, to understand why a person take a decision in B2B, in the end is related to fear, is related to, you know, because the person would like to grow. Why make this person take the risk? So her fear to lose your position or to have a problem bringing a vendor and etc. make this person be more available to pay more. So
Mhm.
our definition, our decisions in our minds navigate for the same sentiments when you goes to buy a, I don't know, objective for you. You know what I mean? So again, this is my high level sense. Maybe I'm flying too much here, but I feel sometimes we forget the human aspect in the decision process, and I think you need to use the theory what makes more sense for your business, your customer, your product, and
Mhm.
and the sales cycles related to that, and not just say, okay, let's modernize everything. But in the end, your product is simple, goes to the simple way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So for your business, it depends on the product. For some products, for example, account level engagement and buying group
exactly.
relevant. Yeah. For some, it's not relevant. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, and it's the theory about the account-based marketing. You need to apply account-based marketing. Yeah, maybe one to one, one to many, one to few. But it's transactional. You will do account-based marketing. I don't know. Maybe you can do a hyper personalization. You can create cohorts, large groups, and you can have a message aligned to these groups. But it's not a ABM. You will
Mhm.
not create event specifically. You cannot put so much investment because the payoff of this investment no make sense for the return what we will have from this revenue. Again, is how to balance, I think. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
How do
Maybe
you see
to
AI providing any input
Yeah,
here,
great.
Ralph? Do you think that's
Yeah, we are
something that will
currently
help?
working on that. Thank you for the question. Let me tell how I see, but again, this is
Mhm.
new for me as well. Okay, it's new for everybody, I think. But we are using and we are working with AI, especially on the hyper personalization for more transactional business for cohorts. So I'm not focused to do a personalization in the level of the person, but using signals, especially in compelling events. So I would like to see what is more common for a large data set, broken that in small clusters. And these clusters, I would like to deliver the using AI to take in a KMD, to take in a generic message and personalize this message for this group, and help me especially making that more fast in tests. Because one of our trade-offs is as we have many business, many products, it's difficult to me create so many contents because we don't have capacity. But now with AI we have. So what
Mhm.
we are doing now is putting the human to validate the message and not more create from scratch, but speed our process to deliver a better message in a better channel, but for a group of accounts and not for a one account here and
Mhm.
another there, but more scale. You know.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. Thank you for sharing. And
Yeah.
Rahul, would you like to continue on some maybe additional models, not just MKLs, scales?
Honestly, no. In my experience, that model, in at least B2B complex, like Ralph mentioned,
Mhm.
complex, long sales cycles, it works. I think there is a potentially a hybrid where you can combine some intent signals and do more of a I guess, account oriented um, execution, let's say. But I just think um, the standard SQL MQ, as outdated as it is, it's really
Mm-hmm.
not going away anytime soon. Or at least for most organizations, it's not something they can
Mm-hmm.
stop.
And the question about AI to you as well. So do you use AI a lot for?
We definitely do. We definitely do. We have a custom agent where we have all the inputs of our brand guidelines, of our customer personas, of our
Mhm,
products. So it has dramatically sped up
mhm,
the speed at which we make content. Definitely, what Ralph said. There's some human validation in there. We still have, guidelines that
mhm.
this is the standard of quality we expect. But
And
it's
for lead scoring, maybe for lead validation. So do you use AI?
Exactly, exactly. It's not, again, it's certainly not hyper personalized to an individual because when we
Mhm,
sell, there's multiple folks in the committee that actually make the decision. And it's a very technical business, so you have to be careful. Um, but yeah, AI has dramatically sped up speed and even content quality in many cases.
Thank you. And Hitan, you've mentioned already that I think your model is pretty similar to what, for example, Forrester is talking about. So about buying groups, account level engagement, signals. So is it true,
Yeah, I think
or
I
it's something
I
else?
think more in terms of the physics behind the terms. So it's not what you call
Mhm,
it; it's about what the actual outcome that you're getting from that stage or from that you know term is. So we look at things like what's noise and what are actual intent signals, and how do we
mhm,
qualify intent signals into a story, into what's going on with this account, where are they in their buying journey, who are we seeing engagement from, is it one or two lone star people who are just engaging with us, or is it consistent engagement with multiple folks from a similar area? And there's a lot of machine learning that goes in the back end. We've been using machine learning models, etc., to qualify some of these things. And also the quality of database matters a lot. What is the quality of your underlying data? So if you
100%.
think about all those things, um, you can call it whatever you want, but ultimately you have to think about what's the outcome that you're getting. What does
Yeah,
your
Yeah.
outcome actually provide you?
that's for
I
sure.
think,
Mhm,
sorry, just to reinforce this point here, I think what hitting brings is really relevant is the quality of your data dictates the quality of your output, and especially how much improvements you can do using AI. If your data is a mess, let's focus on that first and make this be well. And after that, let's talking about AI. Sometimes we are reverting the conversation because it's so trending now, this theme. But
yeah.
to have a clean data, focus on to have the data very well setted is fundamental.
Garbage
Mhm.
in, garbage out.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I think,
definitely.
and I also want to, maybe put this question back to Ralph and Rahul. Um, do you have any specific initiatives going on where you are looking back and, sanitizing or checking the quality of your data on
I
a time,
have.
like a regular basis? Or is it, once after 2 years, 3 years, somebody wakes up and says, let's look at the data?
No, we are very focused on that. I have specifically work stream with our CDP team. So the customer data platform team is crucial. And we are currently trying to work more with our enterprise management team, what looks for all, because imagine something, what reflects into the CDP is not just what we capture in marketing, but what happens with the customer later when they are implemented with new users comes and etc. The partnership, what we have with the main third parties related to the signals, accounts and etc. So my question to them is how we can bring. So we are currently working with a third party vendor And we are using AI exactly to sanitize some fields. So we put like three different robots on top of our data, what is still mapping and trying to do lookalikes to fill gaps, because something what we have here in opportunities gaps. So we have a lot of low completeness fields. So and we need to improve that. The other is double question or check if the data is correctly. So use third-party providers to bring back information and validate if what we have and what the market have is equal or no. And take a decision about um, rewrite this information. No, so but we put on a plan on top of that is going very well. And I can tell you, for recently analyze what we did with 5 pilots, what we have here, sanitize the data, improve around 12 to 15% of the conversion ratio from us in our own data. So So sanitize is critical. It's really critical before to go and acquiring net new data and bringing net new data. But keeping that clean improve a lot the conversion ratio here in our case.
Yeah,
And
it's
thank you
like
for the question. Really amazing question.
mhm. Like Rahul said, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah,
Yeah.
the question. Yeah, Rahul, would you like to answer the same question?
Not really much to add. We have a specific team that is dedicated to data cleanup. For us, pricing is a very important aspect because it's a complex product. So we have so many configurations, and because it's a customized product, that pricing can change. So there's a ton of data there, but more of a continuous improvement sort of a loop. But a dedicated team, 100%.
Thank you. And I also want to ask you about tools. What kind of tools you use for lead scoring, qualification, and plus, of course, AI tools you use because it's important now to know. Could you please share?
We use, I mean, of course, we have like a full stack of different kinds of tools.
Mhm.
ChatGPT was the sort of first one we experimented with. We have Copilot, where we have our internal enterprise-based agents, which we have developed on our own content. And then in terms of AI lead scoring, we have a mixture of Clay and Apollo, which we do for data enrichment, all sorts of GTM operations. We do have something specific within our industry which we use. It's something called Construct Connect. And essentially, it picks up any construction project that is happening and that is being built. And they don't exactly have AI scoring, but they do have intent signals where you can get some buying criteria and some insights. So that's a big deal for us. But beyond that, in terms of purely AI lead scoring, that's kind of it. And of course, it all feeds into the CRM. So that's kind of like the central hub.
Mhm. It's interesting, especially industry specific tool. Yeah, I think it's an additional great thing. Yeah, right.
In our side, I think we need to improve more this part of lead scoring. We have some initiatives with internal agents, what is improving the information about our data, normalize that, especially because normally our lead scoring look for the job level and the engagement. So engagement is something what comes from how this lead or this cookie or this person, I don't know, interact with us, with our content, what type of content, where, and etc. So it's a machine.
Yeah.
But the job level sometimes change a lot, accelerate or decelerate a lot. So this piece is something what we are working with 3 vendors, DNB, what is Hoover's, ZooInfo, and HNG Insights to improve more the knowledge about that. However, I think the point related to the signal is where I would like to see how we can change the other related to engagement about the moment and what signal this person is doing. And in that way, we are working with Six Sense, primarily Bombora, and I would like to bring Intensify. I don't know if you guys have any feedback from Intensify, but I'm listening something very, very good from them. And I would like to bring this portion to influence our scoring. Today is not connected. Again, our scoring is basically how the persons interact with Thomson Reuters in a digital space,
Mm-hmm.
but no makes sense. I would like to accelerate the lead if they are not engaging with us, but they are engaging with the market. They are engaging with the objective to buy something, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're super engaged with my competitor, and I don't have the scoring because I have not download my paper. It's crazy. I think this is something to thinking about the what is modern and what is not modern. So my point, my critica here related to the Forrester about the MQLs, SQLs is not that. I think it's how we use the data to select the main accounts and etc. But this is where we are. I think these are a really great opportunity to us, and we are a little bit delayed in my point of view related to this theme here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds very interesting. Hitan, would you like to share as well?
Um, I would say so. A lot of the tools actually sit in marketing technology, which is a different team, different organization. But Intensify is definitely coming up in conversations. We're also looking at, we also had some conversations with Treasure Data, another
Yeah, Treasure,
interesting.
that is my partner, and I can tell you, amazing. They
Yeah.
are really great.
Overall, I see a lot of Adobe.
Hmm.
We have started to experiment with Nano Banana and um Sora a lot. We, in fact, very recently launched a campaign where a lot of our front end of the campaign, our campaign videos, advertisements, pages, assets were fully AI generated, and we produced that campaign at 1,000 times less of a price compared to our traditional campaign. So in the
Wow.
past, if a campaign costed $1,000, this campaign using AI fully generated costed us $1. So just to give you the scale of that, and that's been
Impressive.
very interesting, at least from the front end side. That's where I'm involved. So we're seeing how that changes.
Well, a quick question, Hitin. Do you guys provide this sort of disclosure that we have used all AI to generate videos for us, or is that something? Um,
So we have basically kept the video. Most of the content that is generated through AI has a slightly different look and feel, and you can tell that it's AI
Nice.
generated. In some cases, we have provided some disclaimers that this is an AI generated content. But I think that's more at this point. It's a very experimentation phase.
Yeah.
We are going full scale on it. We're still experimenting, is what I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds very impressive. What all of you do with AI and automation, yeah, for lead generation. That's just amazing. And at the end of our recording, I wanted to ask you to wish something to the marketers who are maybe on the same page right now, who are doing something new with AI automation to deliver better leads, to drive more value for businesses. Would you like to wish something for them?
When we say wish something for them, like we see them doing more, like we see in general marketing doing more of.
I mean, in B2B, of course, to recommend them something or maybe wish them to focus on something or just be
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
would
hope this.
say I would like more and more marketers to understand what are buying groups and learn about
Mm.
buying groups and see how you can use AI and machine learning and existing data that you have in your CDP to start creating more and more buying group level formats. So we move away from a single lead to how our buying group is behaving within a certain account, or we have a buying group of 18 to 35, and here is what they want, something to that point.
Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, Rahul, please.
I think Hiten covered a really good point. I think one of the misconceptions I've heard about B2B marketing is that we are logical, so we should not be as creative and it should be more feature oriented, not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
value oriented. I would argue B2B marketers, guys, we need to be more creative. We need to take a bit more risk. We have AI, Hiten said, 1,000th of the cost. So, you know what? Start doing it, guys. Be more creative, be a bit more goofy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe use some emotions here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah,
I
well,
will bring a different perspective to try to complement what the guy said here. I will focus on AI where I'm more um, focused now. In my last, I think, 2 years, I so deep on this theme. And I'm facing a lot of gaps in our organization. So my recommendation, especially for the folks what is listening here, is be more curious, be more positive, with more positive intent to the what is happening, because AI will is disrupting the ways of work what we have in marketing. But AI needs a human to lead that. So be this person, be the person what will lead the AI transformation in your company, in the marketing, in the sector. I don't know where you are, and for that you need to study. You need to study. You need to be positive. You need to be open to what AI is bringing to us. And in that way, how much more senior you are, more will be your possibility to lead this transformation and have opportunities in your career. So started to think big, this
yeah.
is really important.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. I think that it was very insightful. Thank you for your bright and valuable insight for the audience. And we started with the definitions, and then we jumped to AI and automation. And I think it's important now because it's a topic which is very important and interesting for everybody. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, for your time, and for your experience. And thank you. Bye. Yeah.
Thanks you. Bye.
Bye bye.